we're live. Alright, forgive me, we're trying to work through this. Today we're going to do a little demo of how to make Caldo Verde. So I'm going to do a traditional Portuguese soup. We've got everything laid out in front of us here. We're going to start out with our nice heavy bottom sauce pot. And over medium heat, I'm going to put in some nice quality olive oil. Your recipe will tell you about like 5-6 tablespoons. Don't be afraid. I want to film the bottom of the pan so I have enough oil here. And you'll understand in a minute why. We're going to be putting in a fair amount of ingredients. So I just want to get the oil to start to shimmer. I've pre-cut some Polish sausage. My assistant is zooming in and out of the camera, so forgive me if things are just going all over the place. You know, this is a beta test, but this saves us the aggravation of trying to do a demo and let you cook at the same time. So hopefully he's just going to settle down and we'll babish this up. All right, so the oil is hot. What I'll do is scatter the chorizo, which is Polish sausage in this case, around the bottom of the pan. Linguiça is more traditional in Portugal, and it's a pork sausage flavored with paprika, pimentón fumado to be precise. It's smoked paprika. Don't have your heat too high, and as I said in the previous video or on the link, what we want to do is try to start to render out some of the fat from the sausage. So I'm going to adjust my heat. So it's just gently going along here. And the oil starts to change color. I'm not really interested in frying up the sausage, but as the cameraman can attest, it smells good, doesn't it? He's shaking his head no because he likes to be contrary. So now we have two fats in the pan. We have olive oil, and we have the fat from the sausage. So just on a measuring step. Now, sequentially we're going to go in. We have onions chopped up. We have some potatoes in water so they won't discolor. And I left them in the water for a reason. One, so they won't discolor. And two, all the starch is coming off the potato, and we'll use that as a thickening agent. Some garlic, and then we're going to finish with some kale. Some nice leafy kale. Okay, this smells good. It kind of has that bacony quality from the smoked paprika. The oil has changed color. I'm going to take the sausage out and reserve that. I'm not really trying to fry it. I just want to render the fat, which is going to be used to garnish later on in the dish. You'll see the final plating. Okay. So into the pan now we're going to put our chopped onions. This is one medium onion. Doesn't have to be really finely chopped. The heat is still high, so you'll hear it sizzle when I drop this in. I don't want to brown the onions, I just want to sweat the onions. So I'll have to turn to the cameraman. Can they see the onions in the pan? They can, excellent. Now the goal here is to soften this up. While the onions are softening up, I have some garlic. Unfortunately, I forgot to grab my knife and put it on the stand, so the cameraman will appear briefly behind me. No, he's going to find an alternate path to grab a knife. Right there on the counter. Very good. Not trying to make too much noise. So we want to sweat these, okay? I can't stress this enough. Thank you, cameraman. We're building flavors. Now the soup can be pureed, or we can leave it kind of chunky. So I have some cloves of garlic here. 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to slice them. Once the onion is softened up a little more, and that should take, oh, you know, for you it would be better to go 3 to 5 minutes. We're looking for them to become translucent. You can see through them. We're not trying to color them, although you'll see some color because the pigment from the sausage has leached out. And if I repeat myself, good, because what we're trying to do is build layers of, olive oil, sausage, onion. Everything's releasing oil and building up some nice flavors. This could go just a little bit more. We want to see it get translucent, but for the sake of video time, we're going to move ahead. In goes the garlic. And the garlic only needs to cook until I can smell it. Now the sausage is slightly salty, and potatoes, which we're going to use quite a bit of here. It's approximately one large potato or 50 ounces a pound of potato. Absorbs a lot of salt. So the cameraman's going to have to dash off and grab salt because I forgot to get salt. At the same time here now, it's on the counter over there. I can smell the garlic. I have some smoked paprika. So this is not from Central Europe. This is, thank you, cameraman, Spain. And it's going to give a nice color to the dish, flavor. So I'm going to put in about a teaspoon or so. Stir that around. We want to toast spices. You know, these things sit on shelves for a fair amount of time, and during that time, their flavor deadens. So one way to reawaken their flavor is to toast them up a little bit. So now you can see that really beautiful color coming up. Can you see that? You can. He says yes. I'm going to put a little salt in because salt will do a couple of things. One, it's got a flavor, and two, salt pulls moisture out of the onions and the garlic, so it'll help them soften up a little bit. As I said, this can be served pureed or just nicely, naturally thickened. Alright, that smells good. Now that I've got that done, we have the potatoes to add. I soaked them in the water so they wouldn't change color. But I don't want to dump all that water in at one time because it's going to drop the temperature. What I want to do is get handfuls of these potatoes, sprinkle them in. You can hear that sizzle. We're keeping the temperature constant. I don't want to throw this water away though because it's full of starch, and that's going to help naturally thicken the soup later on. Typically when we make a soup, we might put a roux in it, fat with flour cooked out. Or in different cultures, they might use nuts or use an alternate starch like this. It's not uncommon for soups to be thickened with tortillas in Mexico. That's why they call it chicken tortilla soup. Or they'll use bread in France. Now you can see the water is clearly not clear anymore. And that's because all that starch is weaked out. Now, I want to coat the potatoes with all that fat from the sausage, the olive oil, the garlic, and the onion. We'll let that cook for a minute. You can hear the temperature's dropped a little bit, so I want to make sure I'm at a nice little simmer. I could put a little more salt in here right now. It's easy to season every step of the way. Remember, potatoes really like salt, and we don't really want a bland soup at the end. So, cook this for a minute. I want to see the potatoes soften up and change color around the edges. I cut them small. You can chop them up. This is a great opportunity for you to practice your knife skills, just dicing things up. The smaller the potato, the faster it's going to cook, and you'll be able to get dinner done more quickly. So you hear it sizzling, it's simmering up nicely. It smells good. In the notes that I've put online already, one of the things you consider is when you get sick, the first sense you lose, you don't have to shoot me, you shoot the food, okay, is your sense of smell. So it's important to get nutrients into people. I don't care if you're a geriatric, a young child, or you're in your teens or middle age. Bone broth was very popular and people were using that last year. And as I said it in the notes, chicken soup is known as Jewish penicillin in a lot of communities because it's just very satisfying. It's an easy thing for your body to process. And this typifies Portuguese cuisine. It's sturdy, it's hearty, it's nourishing. There's a great video with Anthony Bourdain visiting the Azores. The owner of the restaurant he worked in Manhattan Les Halles was Portuguese. And when Bourdain was vacationing and working actually in Cape Cod as a young man, he came to know and love Portuguese cuisine. So hopefully the cameraman's got it. You can see the potatoes have started to change color a little bit. They're starting to become more translucent. They're not so white. You can tip that up a little so you can see. The starch is releasing because I can feel it and see it sticking to the bottom of the pot. So now we're going to move on to the next phase. This is a nice little trick to learn. If I dump the water right into the middle, I'm going to drop the temperature right away. So what I'm going to do is go around the edge. And I'm going to be adding a total of 3 cups of water. So that was just about a cup. I'm going to turn it up high so it'll come back to a boil. And wouldn't you know it, someone stole my bottle of water that I had with my mise en place. Oh. Well, cameraman, we need to get another bottle of water. Is it on the table in there, or did you grab it? You can see it's come back up to temperature. Oh, he's going to appear in frame. Oh, he's using the good stuff from the tap. Oh, yeah. That's good. Yes, thank you. Okay, so we got the temperature back up. And then we're going to add 2 cups of chicken stock. You could just do this with straight water if you wanted to, but as I mentioned in the notes, not a lot of people like that because it's just a very perceived as a bland flavor. All that nice fat floating up on the top, that's from the pimenton. If you want to get it back up to temperature, I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth made with free-range chicken, low sodium. Hopefully my cameraman's got the shot. If you don't make it at home, that's fine. I don't really have the time to make that at home. So 2 cups of this. And I'm using the same container that the potatoes are in because there's a lot of potato starch at the bottom. Give that a stir. Add it in here. And you can see consistency-wise, it's really brothy. This is important because this is going to simmer for about, and I need a little more stock, 15 or 20 minutes until the potatoes get tender. And then we can pull some potatoes out and mash them up. And the final ingredient will go in, which is the kale. Now, we're going to use a classic knife cut for the kale. This comes pretty dirty, so this has been washed multiple times. I don't know what he's shooting right now. Hopefully something's in screen, but as I said, this is a pilot program. So we have kale. I've washed it several times. What you're going to do is cut it into a chiffonade, and you just roll it up like so, and then cut it really finely into ribbons. This dish actually, as it is, kale sauteed with garlic, olive oil, and chilies is really popular in Brazil. It's called couve, and it's usually served alongside some farofa, which is a toasted grain, to serve with feijoada, the Brazilian national dish. It's a big stew of black beans and varieties of meat. It actually has its origins in peasant cuisine. When the slaves were given food by the landowners, it was the scraps, pig ears, beef tails, all the things that they couldn't take to market or had no use for. So you can see it's nice ribbons, and I have a whole bunch of it right here cut up. A good amount of it will go into the soup, but most of it I think we'll save on the side for a salad or an alternate dish. So, up to a boil, bring it to a simmer. Fish out the spoon that fell in there while I was talking and cutting up. And we're going to let this go. This is phase 1 of the video. I think we'll cut it here because I'm not interested in splicing. Hang on, don't cut it yet, cameraman. And on phase 2, I'll show you how to finish the soup once the potatoes are tender enough. We'll see you in a little bit.